particular school to make teaching and learning very easy and smooth. So
Nice.
to start with our project, we have the introduction or the introduction page. Here you get an option to start your login. You can either create a new account if you don't have an account yet, and you can also log in either as a student or as an instructor. Okay.
Nice.
So now I'm going to log in as a student. So okay. So right now we've logged in as a student. So this is the student dashboard.
Sorry, the screen is frozen right now. We are still stuck at the login page. Oh, no, it's yeah, it's not unfrozen now. Yes, now we see the landing page. Yes,
This
student
is the
dashboard.
student dashboard. The student dashboard contains a place where the student can check his or her results when like a test is being written or something like that. And also to check future tests. Maybe after writing a particular exam, the student wants to verify when else like you'll be writing the next paper or the next exam. So this part is the learning resource. Over here, it contains like the resources that can help the students to like help the students learn and also help him or her to learn faster. And also the evaluation aspect of our project. This part helps the student to be able to like rate a teacher's performance when he or she is in class. So let's start with the check results picture. Over here,
Nice.
the students when the since the student is already logged in, so he does not the student does not have to enter the name or anything. All the student has to do is select his or a year and then the semester.
Mm-hmm.
Select the semester and then you view your results.
Nice.
Yes. So here we are logged in as Baronapia. So Baronapia Mathematics 79 B plus and the credits. So everything
Nice.
is and the student ID for Baronapia is 2. Yes. So right now we'll be moving on to the future test.
Uh-huh.
So there's nothing much to it. It's just since the student is already logged in, so it's going to display when like the next time the student will have a test. But right now, there's no like updates on like the information that will be displayed over here. Like it has to be updated by the instructor first before the students be able to see a particular the particular test that he or she will be writing in the future.
Sorry, my friend. Is this error because there is no any future test? Yeah, this error message.
Yes.
Oh, okay, but it's like a little bit confusing because for me it represents like a technical error, or like it's like the server is like facing some problem loading the future test from the database or something like this. So I think what you need to do here, you need to have a different message. Like for example, there is no any future test for now. For example, check again like soon or something like this. But the error here means there is a problem. Okay, there is a
Okay.
Okay,
Actually,
so
this is not how it's supposed to be displayed. When we
uh-huh.
came in, we had some problem. We were trying to fix it, and I think it affected this one. Actually, when
Okay.
there's no this thing, it gives you that there is no future plus current. This is not how it's
Uh,
supposed to be displayed. So when we were
okay.
fixing the error, I think it affected this part of the thing.
Mm, okay. So this error is like actual technical error. It's not okay.
Yeah, yes, please.
Difficult like that.
But in that case, this error message is very user friendly. I'm happy
Yeah.
that you have a friendly message for user. Okay. Welcome, Sadat. Okay. Mhm. Uh, because the resources is hosted on the Google Drive. That's why. Hmm. Okay. Can you try that now, or is it working? Nene, no, Nene, is the resources like hosted on your personal Google Drive? Hmm. Are you using like Google Drive API to access those resources? And this API is provided by Google Cloud Console. Okay. So you have two certification activated on your account. Is this your personal account, Nene? Yes. Oh, okay. So, Nene, I have a question for you. If I'm trying to log in with my account, does I have access to your resources, or I need to log in with your own account to have the access? Ha, ha, have you tried to, accessing the resources from different Google accounts, and so you always try, you always testing with your own account. Is that right? Okay, this is very important because sometimes the permissions is only given to your account. No one else is able to access or uh, download your resources. So try to test with different Google accounts and make sure all people have access to the resources. Also try, if there is a problem, you need to change the scope of permission to public. Hello, can you hear me, my friend? Hello.
I can hear you. I think the network has a problem.
Oh, the network has a problem in the classroom.
Or maybe the laptop.
Yes, my friend, take your time.
Yes. Share this. And so we tried accessing it with another account, and it seems like I not approve. It's like to be
Yeah, this
shared.
is what I was afraid of. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. That means your resources is like private in your Google Drive, and people need to get access, get permission from your side every time they need to access those resources. So one solution for this is to make the resources publicly available, so anyone with the link can access those resources. In that case, there is no need for a login. If you make the resources publicly available, that means Google is not going to ask for login or for credentials before giving the access to the user.
Okay.
Okay. So okay, let's
So moving on to
uh,
the evaluation.
before moving to the evaluation, if we use your own account, is it going to work?
Yeah.
Are we going to
But I
are we going
account yes, it is going to work.
okay, but the problem is there is two-step verification and your phone is not with you.
Yes.
Okay, so also we are not able to like
Access.
validate this point. Okay, no problem. Let's move to the next section of your website.
Yeah, really simple.
We are not.
Actually, it's a problem, not excess of really. So, think like actually,
Class. The problem was not on this side.
so, so Sam,
Yes.
so this is a problem we were trying to solve that affected the other this thing. Anytime we run the code and then we access the evaluation button, this is what we get. So we were trying to solve this problem and then it affected uh, the other button in the student's dashboard.
Uh-huh. You're getting a message invalid token type.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Successful. So this is like a authorization problem. Uh, what type of authentication method you are using? Are you using like access token in your website?
Yes. Are you using access? You're using GWT verification.
Sorry?
Yes. You're using the tokens, but I don't know where.
Yes, it's the
I,
access token that we are using. It's working for all of them except this one. We try to rectify it, but
So all sections you are able to use the same token for all sections in the website, except the evaluation. Uh,
yes, please.
okay.
but it wasn't showing the same thing.
If you try to log out and log in again, do you have the same problem?
No.
It was actually working, and then it was affecting. Like it was, the problem was from the starter dashboard. But when we did it, it's now working there, and then it has affected this one in the student dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
The light. I think it's the same thing we are getting. So we're trying to clear this issue.
Okay, for the presentation right now, let's move to the next section. We need to figure out the problem later on. Hello, can you hear me, my friend? Oh, it's happening in the meeting, Google Meet. Hmm. By the way, your UI is very nice and like uh, fancy. Okay.
I'm going to log in again as a student and check whether this is working.
Uh-huh. What you have done to you only like
Clear
clearing
the
that
list.
Clearing the browsing data.
Yes,
So clearing browsing data will solve the problem
yes, temporarily.
temporarily.
Yes,
Ah,
I
so
don't know what the exact problem is.
mm, I think you have a compatibility issue between the authorization method used on the evaluation section and the authorization method used on uh, other sections. We need to dig more deep in the code to see what makes this problem. Okay, evaluation instructor. So here you can rate the instructor of the specific subject. Is that right?
Yes. When you read it, it shows in the instructors.
Dashboard.
It shows in the instructor dashboard. There's also like a evaluation tab over there, like button over there that the instructor can click on to check how students have rated him or her.
But okay, let me. I think there is a like a logical issue here because you are selecting the instructor first, then you are selecting the subject in second step. But the logical order is to select the subject, then the second drop down will show you only instructors that are belonging to this specific subject. Is that right?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
For example,
yeah,
if I select in the first drop down, if I select a programming instructor, there is no any point from going to the second drop down and select the subject because the instructor is only for programming.
yeah.
So I think this is also need to be fixed.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, I think what you need to do here, you need to select the subject, then in the second drop down you are going to show me only instructors that that work with this specific subject.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so here you can rate different aspects of the instructor, like
yeah.
teach quality, course content, communication, overall rating. Okay, that's nice. Additional, okay, you can also leave a comment.
So
Very nice.
when you leave it, when you submit the evaluation, it shows directly inside the instructor's dashboard where
Mm,
like when the instructor clicks on the evaluation button, the instructor is going to see that particular like rating.
nice.
Mm,
Typing it down.
teacher.
Mhm.
So we are. I hope like there's no problem with the students dashboard or like everything is okay or understood.
Very clear. I hope like in near future we can have a more uh, details look at the learning resources. Now we are going to not talk about learning resources, but for check results, for evaluation. That's nice. Uh, can we move to the instructor dashboard?
Yes, so moving to the instructor dashboard. So here I'm going to log in with what is B and password. So for the instructor dashboard, we have the search students, add results, and manage results, manage
Mhm.
future tests, and evaluations.
Okay. Also instructor have evaluation.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's
So
start one
that
by
is
one.
where that is where you will click and then see the evaluation from the student dashboard, how they
Ah,
rated.
okay. So only for showing the result. Okay. Okay. Result of
Of
evaluation.
the evaluation
Okay.
made by the students.
Okay. I thought that the instructor also is going to rate the students.
No, 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 no. Okay. So here, the instructor can search for any student at all,
Mhm.
and when they clicks on the search button, the student's ID number and results is going to appear.
Mhm.
So, like for every semester has like it contains every semester's results of that particular student that the instructor wants
Yes.
to see. Yes. So this is just the functionality of the search students using any.
Nice.
So and also add results. Here the instructor can add to the like add a student and add the results also. Hope I'm clear. Yes. So let's say for instance, so here it uses the search strings and adds like the results that the person has gotten. Like select
Mhm.
the student's name, the username, not like his name, the username, the ID and the academic year, and then select the semester and then the subject name and then adds the results, the
Mhm.
credit, the grade and everything. Yes.
Nice.
So, for example, if they write a test or something and you want to update it to their listen for them to be able to see, you come to this button, add results or update result. Then you
Mm.
just search the student's name up here. Then
Mm.
this page appears for you to update the results. If it is first year, second year, or third year, just select it from this button. Then the semester, then you
Ah.
then enter the subject, the
Mm.
grade, and everything.
Then
Yeah.
every
Let me
so
tell
when
you. Yeah. 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 It's clear, my friend. But let me tell you something. Is my voice clear?
yes,
Yes.
Yes. Let me tell you something. For this job, I think the instructor has like maybe 100, 200, 300 students and need to enter the result for all those students. So you need to make the process of inserting the results as easy and as fast as possible. Is that right? So having like such a big form to fill for like individual students will make the life of instructor is very bad and hard. So let me tell you something. I think you need like a better way to manage this. For example, first of all, at the level of the whole system, you need to have like a current uh, academic year and current semester, which is like defined on like a global level, and you can like every new semester you can update these values, and you don't need like every time to insert those values. You can have those value defined globally inside your code, and just at the beginning of the semester you update this value to have like the new semester. And for subject, because the instructor is only responsible for one subject, so based on my profile you can get the subject from my profile as an instructor. So I don't need to also I don't need also to enter this value, the subject. Just I need to select the student name and enter the value or the score for this student. The second name, the second score, third name, third score, and so on. This will be like much faster for the instructor. Is that right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because the, like a big amount of people, big amount of students, so it's like a very hard for instructor to keep inserting data. Okay, but yeah, but at least this is working. This is working. Can
yes.
you try one next? Can you try one for now?
Oh, is it- can I-
You want us to add a result or something?
Yeah. Try to add new result for a specific student.
Okay.
Nice. And nice to have like a confirmation message after inserting the result. Like you get a confirmation message like to tell the user that the insertion was successful. Nice.
Okay.
Yes. So this is for searching students and adding result. Okay, adding result, but search students only to show the result. Is that right?
Yes. The
Okay.
search is only showing the results of the student.
Okay. What about manage result? What do you mean by manage result?
Manage results, like it displays every like student's results, and then
Mhm.
gives like the instructor the ability to like make changes in case there is some uh, error or something during the input of the results. Yes. So here you can see the edit button. You can either delete the results or edit it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
right now, Barbara Addison, the subject here is program, and then the marks are 90. The grade edit one. Okay, so you want to
Nice.
edit, so here you can
Mm-hmm.
change the 90
Yeah.
and make it 80, for instance, and the student A minus or something like that. Let me just do
Okay.
it.
That's nice.
And then
Is the filter working in the top of the table?
Yes, please. It's
yeah,
working.
when you enter, let's say we enter bar,
Mm-hmm.
so it's going to give the students whose name starts with bar
Nice.
and Baron appear, and all the subjects that Baron appear office.
Nice. So all
They are
the results and all the subjects that belonging to Baron.
Baron. Yes.
Nice. And if I select also the subject, now I will get all results that belonging to the same subject and the same student.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
right? So can we combine two filters together?
Yes.
So
So,
these are different years: mathematics year one and year two. I think because he added another year two
no,
result.
it's year one, semester one, year one, semester two. And then this one, we have year two, semester two.
Okay.
Nice.
Like
You have two semester for year one and you have one semester for year two.
Yes.
Nice. Very good. Um, that's nice. But mm, is there a way to see like the total score or total marks for student?
no, no. You don't have like a way to see the total marks for the student.
Okay. So it's only always showing the result at the level of like a subject.
Yes, subjects, yes.
Nice. Okay, that's good.
So back to that book. So we also have the managed future test. So
Mm-hmm.
the instructor can add future test if like there is another text another test coming up for the students. So you can add the subject name and the date and also the time that the test will be written. And also the duration. Here we have, let me see, the out. And location. Let's see, okay, room and text type, final examination, description. You can add the description also. The final
What do you mean by the test type?
a text type. For
Yes.
instance, if it's a final examination, mid-semester examination, or maybe just a quiz to test the students, or maybe laboratory practicals, or something like that. I hope it's understood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. So now you can save the test over there. As the second. Okay. So it has been saved. You can see it right. This one.
Mm-hmm.
So it is displaying the duration, the date that the test will be written, the time, the room number that the test will be written in, a type of test that you can also edit it in case like there was a mistake. You can edit it again and then also delete it. The pop-up menu, the pop-up this delete success. Okay. So now moving on to the evaluations, where the instructor can see the evaluations that students have made. So here for the instructor, we have Baron Apia making evaluations here. You can see all the evaluations that I made in the one that I added earlier. The comments that I added earlier that is a good teacher. Right. So here you can see the total evaluations of the instructor and the highest rating that the instructor has ever been given. Right. Hello. Say, Mr. Osam. So that's it. That's it for the instructor button. The instructor dashboard and every function that it entails. So that's it. So everything. Hello? Say, no. That's the end of the project. You can say you should.
Why didn't you say so?
What's on? Mr. Osam.
Yes.
Yes, we are done with the instructor dashboard.
Yes.
So that's it for the instructor dashboard. You know it functions.
I think I missed something from the instructor dashboard. Can you future
Go to
test?
the
Yes,
evaluation.
we can see the evaluation from the student side. Manage results. Add.
Yes.
Okay.
So here the evaluation, the instructor can see the total evaluation that
Yeah, yeah.
the instructor has gotten in the
Average
average,
and highest rating. Yes.
the
Nice.
highest rating that the instructor has ever gotten.
Mm, mm,
So that's it for the evaluation on the
yeah.
instructor side.
Nice. Go back to the dashboard. Yes. And president. Account. What about the register? We haven't seen the register. Is it working?
Yes, working.
Register.
This is the register button.
Yeah.
So should we try and add a
And
new?
yeah, we
Yeah.
can try it just to see. This is the form for signing up. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Anyway,
So the name is the only the display name. Is that right?
yes. Listen, please listen.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking about the first entry is a name, only a display
Yes,
name.
name.
It's not going to use
Yes,
as a username
username.
for.
Yes. Usually your
Mm,
name. So the
okay, okay.
second part you can add your username that you want to
Uh,
use.
and this one should be like unique.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay. 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 That's that's Gmail. I'm going to select. You can either register as a student or an
Mm-hmm.
instructor.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So register as a student, and then you
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah. Just.
Then you sign up.
Uh-huh.
You go student.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Uh, yeah. Yeah. This is what I want to see. Um. Just I love to like after registering or after signing up, I love to go immediately to my dashboard. No need like to
to
log in after registration. Um, you can simply after like successful registration, you can simply assign an access token to the user and and return back the access token to user to use uh, as like a token to go to the dashboard immediately. Okay, no problem with that. That's nice. First of all, let me give you my impression about the UI. The UI is very like we are using very nice and very like active colors
yes.
in the UI. Yeah, and looks like because this dashboard is going to be used by students and by young people, so I love like the colors, the style you are using. It looks like very nice and very active. Yeah, and also the background is very nice. Is it like AI generated or what is this
Yes.
like that?
AI generated.
Oh, nice. Okay. Have you given the AI like some let's say ideas about the
Project.
project?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I gave him
because,
a description.
background is very yeah very related to the project.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Let me tell you something about the logout button. Logout button is very obvious and very clear in the dashboard. Like yeah. Look at the logout button. It's like a red button at the top right corner of the screen. Usually, as a UX, let's say as a UX advice, let's say, uh, we tend to hide the logout button. We don't show the logout button as like obvious as this one. Try to hide it. Like for example, let's hide the logout button inside the profile screen. For example, let's have like a profile image, and when I click on the profile button, you can, for example, show a small drop down menu with logout, or you can go to the screen for profile, and inside the screen you have the logout button like at the bottom of this screen, for example. But from the UX point of view, we don't show the logout button in the main screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Some actions we don't want to encourage students to do, like logging out. It's not like we don't want to encourage people to do log out. When you want to encourage someone to do something, you put this in the front and put it in the main screen and make it a big button with the active color when you want to encourage user. Okay, but when you want to disencourage user, you use like let's say um, a small button, small font, and you hide the button inside like different screens. Okay, don't make it obvious and much obvious like this. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, students dashboard, but for everything else, everything is nice and looking professional. So it looks like you gave this website to a professional designer before start working. Yeah. I think we can. I think we can go now to the code and having a look at the code now.
Okay. So now the
I'm
code.
curious.
This is.
I'm
Let
curious about the code now.
me
Yes.
reduce.
No, no, we'll proceed. No, we'll
Okay.
proceed.
I hope you
Is
can
ev-
see.
yeah, I can see. Is everything in this file tree is related to the same project?
Yes, yes. Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
No, that's a yeah.
I see like a lot of files. So is all those files related to the same project or?
Yeah, the same project.
Okay.
This
First of all, what type of database you are using?
I'm using SQL. SQL
S-
database.
SQL or SQLite?
SQLite. SQL.
Okay. 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 Nice. Uh, are you using Alchemy library?
Yes. We are using the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We
Nice.
imported from.
Yes, and I see for the back end you are using Python Flask for the back end.
Yes.
Okay. Can you go like okay, you are using GWT token, access token. Is that right?
Yes.
To generate. Mm-hmm. Nice.
GWT.
Um yeah, yeah. Can you like scroll down slowly?
So I'm from the database.py. I'm importing.
You are initializing the database first of all. So mm-hmm.
Hold on. So yeah.
Configuration for the Flask configuration for the Flask.
Yes. And it didn't.
Alchemy.
logging in the StudyHub.db.
Ah, okay. You are using a logger? Using logging in the project
Yes,
project?
we're using login, but yes, we're using W Workspace, the Workspace
Are you
login.
using a specific library for log? Okay, you are using a. Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, this
nice. And now you are using the debug level for the
yes
logging because you
login.
are in the development stage. Is that right?
Yes.
Nice.
So here
Token
we
required.
are looking for the instructor.
Mm,
Instructor login.
mhm,
So everything. So this is for the home page. Yes. And this code is not. We're trying to make it so that the user can download the PDF, the learning resources PDF directly without having to go and visit the Google Drive. But we are finding some difficulty. We decided to like make the user just be able to view it.
oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yes.
So like we'll work on it later and like make the user be able to download. So this is for the class and stuff. This is email validation. This we are doing it both in backend and front end and
Mm-hmm.
the password validation logic.
Mm-hmm.
And so this I just rendering this registration. This is the API for the registration.
Sorry, the API for what?
For the registration.
Okay, okay, okay.
This one is just rendering the template. So
Mm,
okay. So this is the route for the students
that's all.
dashboard. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Moving down. So this is also the route for future test for the students. This for the future test for the students only, like the one that the student uses to view the future tests. This is the logic around everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the learning resources. This one is just rendering the learning resources template. And this code over here. Wait, and so this will have been responsible for the student the student resources like for the downloading of the this thing, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Google Drive PDF, the PDF that I uploaded to Google Drive. This
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in
But
the
yes, you need to uh like give public access in future if you want to have a successful you have a successful like exploring resources.
yeah, okay. So this is the API for the student login.
Mm-hmm.
This is what and also like it's logging the information when the student logs in. The logger,
Mm-hmm.
like if there's an error or something, the logger is going to show that particular error. And when the student logs in, the logger info login attempt, then to display the student's username inside the terminal.
Mm. I'm happy that you have a logger inserted like everywhere. You have like a very detailed logging information in the file. Have you tried to access the logging files and see the messages in the logging file?
No, this one, I think it's only uh, orchestrates in a terminal. I don't think it's
You can configure the
review
logger
it.
to log the messages into a file,
Okay.
not only
We
to the
only
terminal.
see it in a terminal, like here.
Very
When
important
we,
when you have a project at the production state is to have a logger at the logger to work on the files, not on the terminal,
okay.
because files are more permanent. Like you have a permanent messages.
So moving on. So before checking if when the student logs in, it will check if the student this particular code over here. Yeah, we're using SQLite. This particular code over here checks if the students exist inside the StudyHub.db database before verifying the student.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Right. So here another logger, like if the students like the student is not available, to log the information login attempt for non-existent user what inside the terminal.
Mm-hmm.
So, so this is the API for showing the student results. The student results which has been saved inside the database. So it sends a token request for the student results and then
My friend, let me tell you something. Look at the you have some like duplication in the code. For example, every endpoint you are checking the token. Is that right?
yes.
And checking if the token is a valid token and is the user is authorized or something like this, which is like a kind of duplication in the code. I think there is a better mechanism that with using, for example, with using some helping libraries, you can let some library help you with the authentication. You only need to add like a one decorator at the level of the endpoint, and the library is going to deal with the authorization for you. You don't need to keep like every time check get the token and make sure the token is valid. And if the token is valid, let's proceed with the request. If the token is not valid, let's send the unauthorized error to the user end user. This like a repetition like this work is going to be repeated a lot, a lot, a lot. So you can search for a library to help you to deal with the authorization. This library usually is going to give you like a decorator. You can attach this decorator to your function, and the decorator is going to do this work for you.
Okay.
Okay, don't repeat yourself every time. Like this is like very important rule in programming in general. In general, when you see some code duplication in your work, you can like 100% be sure that there is a problem and there is something we can enhance. Every time you see duplication in your code, make sure there is something we can enhance and something is missing you need to take care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So moving on to student information.
And also, my friend, what I'm seeing here in your code, for example, uh, accessing the database, and I see like a lot of duplication in the instructions or the command related to the database. You need every time to create a connection and get a cursor. And is that right? And you need
Yeah.
what you can do, my friend, you can have a database connector, like a class, dedicated class for accessing database. Let's call it, for example, database connector. And you can assign all database related tasks to this connector. And in that case, every is all logic related to database and accessing database will be located inside that connector. And what you need to do inside your code, you need only to call that connector and give him the task to do. That means you don't need to repeat yourself with every time like creating the connection. By the way, uh, let's look at this instruction con equal SQLite connect, and then this this instruction is a heavy instruction because you are establishing connection with the database. This should be done only once in the life of your application. You don't need to establish connection every time you are processing a request inside your application. The connection should be established once and only once because this is a heavy task. If you are going to establish the connection with every request, every single request, that means will have a performance issue. You will have like a slowness inside in your application. So with the help of database connector, you can establish connection at the beginning or at the startup of the application, and the same connection you can use with all requests. You can at the end of your application, when you are closing your application, you can close the connection to the database cleanly.
Okay. So
Okay.
I have a question. So are we supposed to like get a new library for that, or we have to create a
But
function or something?
you can create a class inside your project. You can create like a dedicated file for database connector. Inside this file, you can create a class with the name database connector, and inside this class, you can have all methods and all logic related to database, like establish connection, get cursor, write data to the database, read data from database, whatever you are going to do with the database, you can create method for those, and you can call those methods from within your code, from within your Flask code.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
this will make your code more neat and clean, and you will remove a lot of duplication inside your code. Um, let's also have an opinion from Osama or Rafael, because they are also a developer and they know what I'm trying to talk about. What do you think, Osama and Rafael?
Yeah, I share similar opinion with what you said about getting a class to like place all the repetitive stuff logic that you have at hand. Once you put them there, you'll be able to call those as the class in where you need it and then utilize it. And like he said, the database connection, we just need one calling of it, and then that's all. Once it's initialized, we can use the same connection to be able to run other requests. So let's try our best to get the class, or like I mentioned, a utility function that you could call anytime you need it. So it's going to be declared once, and you would use it as many times as you want without
Yeah.
having to declare it all the time inside your logic. Yes. Aside that too, I would also like to comment that you have also placed the files. The file system. I see you have one CSS folder to that contains all your CSS stuffs, and then that of the images. So well done on that. Yes. And then I also noticed that you had comments on comments. on your code. Yes, that's really, really good so that you could actually go back to it and then remember what each line of code is like. Yeah. So very
Yes,
good on that. Thanks.
Thank you.
yes, exactly. Thanks, Sushama, for this. Yeah, very nice.
You're welcome.
Yes, thanks, Rafael, for this. Also, this is very important. Yes. Um, okay. Thanks for those. Nene and Otis, have you shared your GitHub repo link with us on the WhatsApp group?
No, no.
Uh, please try to give us access to the repo because I want to go with the code to go deeper with the code to like provide you with more notes about the code, what we can enhance, what we can improve. Uh, yes. I'm not able now to tell all my thoughts and all my recommendations and notes about the code because I'm only like looking at the, let's say, uh, I'm barely like scratching the surface of the code. But if you give me a link to the GitHub, I can go deeper and provide you with a list of my thoughts about the code and what we can improve with the code to make it more professional code. But in general, you have done like great job, and you've built like a let's big application with a very nice UI and very nice structure for the UI and the separation of the role of the students and instructor is very nice. Yeah. Um, well done, my friends. I think you've like moved like long distance with development and with coding by working with this project, and I'm sure you learn a lot of things. You've learned a lot of things with dealing with, for example, Google services, dealing with authentication, dealing with databases, dealing with front end and back end technologies as well. So I'm happy with all of those experiences you've uh, like met with in the journey during the journey of developing this project.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome, my friends. Okay, I think. Is there any question? Is there any ideas before we close today's session?
Yeah.
Um, Please, there's no question. You are okay with the submission
Nice.
and
Other students, yeah, other audience in the class. Sadat, David, Raymond, Patience. You want to add anything? Everything clear. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Raymond and patients also try to be prepared for next session as well. Yeah, yeah. Raymond, why you are laughing? now, now now I'm scared after the this emoji. I'm scared. Yeah. Okay, okay. Good luck, my friends. Thanks for today's session. We are very happy with today's session. So looking forward for the next session. See you soon, my friends, on Monday. Next Monday, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, my friends. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.